in the Nefesh Hachaim Shaar Daled, Parag Gimel. I mentioned last week the Eglei and the question in the Hakdama of the Eglei is the Sochet Shavar Rebbe Avni Nezer, huge Talmud Chacham. And the question is, like, if I'm learning, I have to learn Lishma. But if I'm learning L'Shem Ta'anug, I just enjoy learning, I love learning. Is that a bad thing or a good thing? Is that Shaloi L'Shma? Hard to call it a bad thing, but is it Lishma, learning L'Shem Tainug? So he says that although there's a certain ascetic group of people that say that you have to learn dafka and not have any personal joy out of it. So he says it's a ta'us gemura. It's a complete toes, because enjoying Torah is not like a side benefit of learning Torah. The whole mitzvah limud Torah is the tainug shabai, the pilpul and the tainug and the gishmak. And he says that if you learn Torah without any gishmak, then there's no chance that the Torah is going to be nivla b'damai, just not going to internalize. So it's not going to get there. So what's he saying? He's saying that Torah has to be lishma, but that is lishma. Here the Nefesh Hachaim, which people, if you look at the Svarim, they always put together the Nefesh Hachaim with the Eglei Tal, and it's not exactly what the Nefesh Hachaim is saying, but I want to examine that. Nefesh Hachaim is saying that what is the definition of limud haTorah lishma? Not necessarily l'shem, hamtakas hadinim or boinai lamais or doing something in shamayim. You're learning Torah to know Torah. You're learning Torah to be a lamdan. Lihisaneg, is that part of the Etzem Mitzvah or not? It doesn't make any difference, because that's not lishma. That's not a getter of lishma. Lishma means I'm learning Torah l'shem Torah. That's what Nefesh Hachaim says, which, by the way, is a much more as simple as it sounds, it's a much more difficult concept than learning Torah to be Masakin Ulamas. Masakin Ulamas sounds very esoteric and very, okay, look what I'm doing, I'm making peace in the world. If I learn Torah today, I'll affect the elections, tomorrow. Okay, Beseder, that's probably the biggest Shalei Lishma. But that's two things. So I want to share with you something here, and I think it's very helpful. The Pachad Yitzchak on Shavuos, Pachad Yitzchak, that's Rav Hutner. You just mentioned this Pachad Yitzchak? Shavuos? Oh, this is Rav Yitzchak Hutner we have right here. Say what I said. Yeah, this is what you said. It's a really sort of simple and straightforward thing. Shavuos Maimer Vav. He says the following. Let's follow along carefully. Harambam, Be'olchos Talmud Torah Perek Gimel Halacha Hey. This is the lashon of the Rambam. Tchilas dinoi shel adam einoi ela al divrei Torah. Tchilas dinoi shel adam. It means that when at 120 years we come to Shamayim, the first question that's going to be asked of us, the beginning of the whole Din Torah of coming to Shamayim, who are you, what are you a Ben Olam Haba or not, says the Rambam, so Gemara, Tchilas dinoi shel adam einoi ela al divrei Torah. The first thing is, did you learn Torah? That's the first question. Okay. Lefichach, says the Rambam. Therefore, Yasek Adam b'Torah shaloi lishma. You should learn Torah shaloi lishma, shemitoch shaloi lishma ba lishma. Because the shaloi lishma ba lishma. So, What's this Rambam? How does this follow? Let's think about it for a minute. Two questions. One question is that all the Mefarshim ask the Kesef Mishnah. Everybody asks on the Rambam, not the question you're thinking, but that the Gemara. This all comes. The makar of this is the Gemara, which says, Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Rav Lo Elam Yasek Adam B'Torah B'Mitzvah Shalei Lishma Shemitak Shalei Lishma B'Lishma. Famous Gemara. So the Rambam says a person should learn Torah Lishma, and it doesn't say anything about mitzvahs. Not here, not anywhere in the whole Yada Chazaka. Doesn't say anywhere. Shemitak Shalei Lishma B'Lishma. This lashon appears. Want to know why I'm so sure of this? I Googled it. the Rambam doesn't say anywhere the whole Yada Chazaka except for here, Shalei Lishma B'Lishma, and he's talking about Torah, and he's not talking about mitzvahs. Why? The Gemara says it all together. That's what the Mefarshim ask. But the more maybe obvious question is, because for that question you have to know the whole Rambam, but the more obvious question is, what's the lefichach? Lefichach means it's a logical seder. So the logical seder is the Sid's, Tchilas Dinai Shel Adam, Eloi Ela B'Divrei Torah, lefichach, therefore, right? You should learn Torah, Shalei Lishma, should be Torah, Shalei Lishma, B'Lishma. How does it follow? So he goes on to say, yeah, question's clear, yeah? Question is clear? So he says that the pshat is, Torah or mitzvahs chalukim hein b'inyanam. Torah and mitzvahs, two different things. Now, I mentioned last week that, Torah is, in fact, I keep mentioning this. Torah is what comes from Hashem to us, and mitzvahs is what comes from us to Hashem. That's the big difference, and it makes a difference in many, many halachas. So understand that. But he says here, mitzvah is ilulei taima to mitaych shalei lishma balishma. You want to do a mitzvah. Let's choose a mitzvah here. You want to put on tefillin. So on this, Rabbi Yehuda Amarav says, let's say you're not putting on tefillin lishma. Okay, shalei lishma balishma. But let's say you just do it shalei lishma, period. Forget about shalei lishma balishma. You just do it shalei lishma. So you put on tefillin. You didn't do anything wrong. Let's say I put on tefillin because my Rebbe told me that when I put on tefillin, he's going to give me a quarter. Every day I put on tefillin, he's going to give me money. Okay? Even if you don't say shaloi lishma balishma, even if you don't say the chiddush of Rabbi Yehuda Barav, put on tefillin. You're not doing anything wrong. Put on tefillin. You're not doing it for the ultimate right purpose, putting on tefillin, whatever that purpose is. Shaloi lishma balishma. But there's no isser involved. Masha'en kain. You do the mitzvah. Avol b'talmud Torah b'vadai di'ilulei taima Rabba, if it wouldn't be for this, should be taich shalei lishma balishma hayakad iser shalei b'Torah shalei lishma. Bleibs an iser. What's the iser? Taima de milsa misugya de brachas. You see the Gemara in Bracha says. Everybody knows the Balkari Asir B'Divrei Torah B'Shum Kinsinasa. The Gemara darshans that whenever you learn Torah, you have to feel like you're getting the Torah from Har Sinai at that moment. You're a replication of Har Sinai at this moment. We're learning Torah, Har Sinai. So what's up with the Balkari? Man Sinasa B'Ema B'Yira B'Reses B'Zeya. Aflimuda L'Dairis Kain, says the Gemara, that when we were standing at Har Sinai, we were trembling in your Shamayim, Ema, B'Yira, B'Reses, B'Zeya, Afli Mudiladoris Kain, so that's how you should learn. So this guy who's Tameh is not coming, but the Gemara says that's a chasarn in Ema, Yira, Reses, Zeya. Okay, that's a sugya. Why is one a chasarn and the other? But that's the sugya. That's what the Gemara says. V'chazinan, says Rav Hutner, the kisnisinasa hu t'nai b'limud Torah, that the proper way to learn Torah is kinsinasa. V'chol she'ena kinsinasa areza asur v'aymenis bleibs an isser. It's asur. The shaper mistaber, and it's very mistaber. The limud shalei lishma b'vadai d'loi have kinsinasa. So if you're learning shalei lishma, it lacks in kinsinasa b'sinai. So he says over here a chiddush that when you're doing mitzvah shaloi lishma, so it goes from it's parv to good, and lishma is great. When you're learning Torah shaloi lishma, it's usher. So now you need the heter of Rav Yehuda Amarav to tell you that lo'ilam yasek adam shaloi lishma balishma shemitoich shaloi lishma balishma, that even to be over an isser is okay, because to be over an isser will bring you eventually to Torah lishma. Now, first of all, I question the whole yesod that he's saying here. Is it usher? Would it be usher? If not, and if it is usher, how does Rav Yehuda Amarav matter this usher?
He brings them both together.
And he brings them both together. But I'm saying, with kol hakavod to Rav Yehuda Amarav, you can't come along and take an isser and be matter. You need a pasuk, you need an essay dechaloisa, you need something. Yeah? Takanas Ezra is to be toivel, to carry. He's talking about an isser of limud Torah. Ezra is not dealing with limud Torah.
But did it stem from that?
Of course, Ezra stems from this.
You say the whole Takanas Ezra didn't include, because of
the Takanas Ezra was because your Nesinasa should be B'Sinai. But you have another thing you can do, just don't learn Torah. You're a Balkari. So Ezra said, no, you should be Toivel L'Kari. No, but what I'm saying is, like, first of all, how does Rabbi Yehuda Amarav matter something which is Aser? But the more important question is, so what's the Lefichach now? That since, how do you learn the Rambam? Since Tchilas Dinei Shel Adam Eino Ela Al Divrei Torah, Lefichach Yaseg Adam B'Torah Shaloi Lishma, Shemitach Shaloi Lishma Ba Lishma. How does it follow? You have the picture of the Rambam. How does it follow one to the other? So what's he saying? That the reason, he's answering one thing. Why doesn't the Torah say? Why doesn't the Rambam bring mitzvos? Why does he only bring Torah? Because Torah has to be mater and isser. Okay, it's like a lamdusha thing. But first of all, the Rabbi Yehuda Amarav says both, as you say. So then he says here a second yesod. Meaning, just to get this clear before I say the second yesod, meaning that for the Rambam to say that you should do mitzvahs shaloi lishma shemitoich shaloi lishma ba lishma, there's no nafkamina ladina. Either way, you're going to do mitzvahs lishma shaloi lishma. There's no isser. But by Torah, there's an nafkamina ladina, because if you're learning Torah shaloi lishma, it should be aser. But since it's lishma, since it's shaloi lishma ba lishma, it's mutter. Okay, it's hard to understand. Then he says, Bahashta nira, so it seems, the me'acher de inyan zesh de mitoich shaloi lishma ba lishma hu klali, shaloi lishma ba lishma hainu she'ena kavana, da shaloi lishma shal mitzvah pratis yigram la'akiyum lishma shal mitzvah pratis azil. This is also very speculative. He says that it doesn't mean that put on tefillin shaloi lishma, because eventually you'll put on tefillin lishma. It's a general lifestyle thing, like why are we Orthodox? Who knows? A million reasons why we're from. I mean, the truth is, if you're about Shiva, so you have a good, clear reason why you're from. But if you're born this way, it's like, I don't know. I was brought up that way. I went to school. This, I'm afraid. A lot of reasons to go into it. So what he's saying is that when the shaloi lishma ba lishma is a general thing, like just be from, and eventually you'll be a tzaddik. If you're born this came by Torah, he says, it's another yesod, that by Torah it's not the pshat, like generally learn Torah and eventually you'll come to listen. Like the Torah you're learning gufa, the Torah gufa that you're learning, haray Torah, ikadrora the yisura. Torah is aser. This Torah is aser to learn. Shalei lishma. So you need a heter in the shaloi lishma gufa to learn a lishma. L'zeh hoisev kan Rambam malachazu the tchilas dinay shel adam eino ela al divrei Torah lefichach ein lahachlif as a Torah shaloi lishma b'mitzvah shaloi lishma. They can't mix up the two things. V'af ha'gali de Torah lishma tzrich liyaz ha'idei Torah shaloi lishma dafka. U'lefizeh advar mechuvarim. The Rambam starts with Tchilas Dinei Shel Adam Eino Al Divrei Torah El Inyan Torah Shaloi Lishma. Dafka, this whole halacha is only by Torah Shaloi Lishma. The Lulei Hachaim of the Rabbi Yehuda Yekam Mishum Iser, and again the same Yesod. Okay, let me say what I think is the pshat in the Rambam, and this is what Rav Hutner says. The kashas are good kashas. I mean, I guess the Torah is a good Torah too. I don't understand, but it would seem to me that Lefi the Nefesh Hachaim, the Rambam is not shver at all. He's not bringing the Nefesh Hachaim, but it would seem to me that Lefi the Nefesh Hachaim, the whole thing is not shver. Why? Because there are, when it comes to Torah, there are a couple of madregas, three I saw in the Vilna Gaon. The Vilna Gaon says an Evan Shlema, Parakas, on the Mishnah of Al Tiyu Kavodim Amisham Shemes Harav Amanas Lekabel Pras Elaheva Kavodim Amisham Shemes Harav Shaloi Amanas Lekabel Pras. So he says, Ha'inyan, Shloishes Mine Maisim Yesh. There's three ways to learn Torah. Let's just absorb this carefully. Aleph, Haloi made Bishvil Pniyos. Or you're asking a Jew, why are you learning Torah right now? So one answer is Pniyos, Ekra B'chdei Shikruni Rabbi. I want to get kavod. Ulterior motives. Learning for kavod, learning for money, Kardum Lachbarba. So the first thing we have to say about this guy is that he's a Meshigana. Like who learns what kavod, what money? I mean, it's but okay. In his mind, like I'm going to learn Torah, I'm Manashi Karabi. Okay, so that's one derech echad. The second person can say, why am I learning Torah? Shaloi made bishvil boirai. I'm learning for my Creator. Shiyim sachein beinav. I want Hashem to like me. V'yiten loy sachar toiv ba'olam haba. So I'm not learning for ulterior motives exactly, but it is a sort of ulterior motive in the sense that it's a personal thing, right? I'm doing it for schar. The third way of learning Torah, Hurak Toiv B'Yiras Hashem, Kasher Tzivanu Lishmar V'Lasais, V'Loi L'Shum Pnei Klal. I'm not doing it for covenant, I'm not doing it for schar. If there would be no covenant, there would be no schar, I would still learn Torah. And I'll add, I'm not doing it even for oineg or for geshmak. I'm just learning Torah because Hashem said to learn Torah. So that's V'Lazeh Amar Al Tiu Al Pnei Rishona. That's the first way. Don't be like that. Don't be somebody who's learning Torah for ulterior motives. Unacceptable. Ella, which is what? Madrega Gimel. Yeah.
Which category would grow up to somebody who does it for Dvekus, the feeling of Dvekus?
So doing it, I'm not sure what you mean by Dvekus, but if you mean what the Nefesh Hachaim says Dvekus, meaning I'm doing it as a religious experience. Is that what you mean? Like I'm doing
Like a geshmak, feeling of Dvekus.
doing it for a geshmak. So that's the gray area here, right? But
2.5.
2.5. No, so the thing is like this. Like 1 is bad, and 3 is very, very good. And 2 is acceptable. So the Mishnah is telling you, that's exactly what the Mishnah says according to the Gra. That the first is telling him, don't do that.
The two Gersos in the Mishnah, right?
There are 2, yes.
Where the word lo
Where the word loy comes in. So he's going with this gear. So shaloy almanas, not whether it's loy almanas kabel pras or almanas shaloy kabel pras. Those are the 2 gears. So I'm not sure to think of Kardum Lachbar. But I just say this word here that doing it for completely ulterior motives is usser. It's usser. That's a very high madrega of Torah Shaloi Lishma. That's a very big Shaloi Lishma. Like a person says, I'm an atheist. I don't believe the whole thing. I'm learning Torah. I'm an Ashik Rebbe. I want to be able to stump the Talmidei Chachamim. I want to slug up. I want to write scholarly articles which show the Torah is not Misinai. It's completely Shaloi Lishma.
Just enjoying the intellectual pursuit.
And intellectual pursuits also completely Shaloi Lishma. Now there's the second guy. No, why are you learning Torah? I'm a Yer Shamayim. I'm worried about my schar. I'm worried about, I want to do what Hashem wants me to do. But why am I learning Torah today? Because I'm getting paid to learn Torah. I'm in the Mordechai Esther Kollel, or whatever it's called, on Purim, and they're giving me $100 to learn. Okay, it's not the ultimate madrega, but it's a madrega of lishma. And then there's the ultimate madrega of lishma, that I'm just learning Torah, even if there would be no olam haba. Even we know, if you tell me that you're going to get an oynish for every minute you learn Torah, I'm learning Torah anyway because Hashem told me to do it.
Where's the category of learning in order to know what to do?
Lomad amanas lasos. Okay, so fit it in.
3.
It's in 3.
Sounds like I'm doing because Hashem told me to.
I want to do what Hashem told me to do.
It's 9. Not.
So the chasarn is not that I'm learning to become a Rebbe, but almanas shiyuk Rebbe. Like that's a t'nai kafel in it. Like if nothing's going to come out of this learning, I'm not going there.
That's awesome to do.
That's also to do.
That's not included on
Possibly not included in Shaloi Lishma. So let me according to this gra, and I can show you that the Nefesh Hachaim, even though he's talking about Dveikus and what his pshat in Lishma is, his pshat in Lishma is, I'm learning Torah for L'Shem Torah, right? But what we didn't learn yet is Parak Daled, and in Parak Daled he says, I'm not saying, says the Nefesh Hachaim, that there aren't higher madrigas of learning Torah. So I would say, of course there are. He says, Ein tzarech efshar loimer she'ein tzarech l'nei Torah shum Torah machshava v'yiras Hashem chalila. Chalila, and he goes on to say, look, we'll see, Zoyar. Another pasha that you have to have all the grace of kavanas when you're learning Torah. So I'm learning Torah with mamish totally lishma, because that's what Hashem wants me to be, and I want to be mamtik dinim, and I want to change the olamais avada. But that's not what our normal kavana in learning Torah is, and our normal kavana is, it shouldn't be lekanter, because that would be the first way of learning Torah. It should be, I'm learning Torah because Hashem told me to learn Torah. You understand? So the Nefesh Hachaim is, I believe, working with derech habez of the gra. But let me tell you what it means in very simple language. It means to say that I believe this from my heart that this is true. That if you'd ask anybody here, why are you learning Torah? There may be some shaloi lishmaz in it. There might be. But there's definitely, with everybody here, a lishmaz I'm doing. I want to learn Torah. I want to do the Ratzon Hashem. Ultimately, I want to be a ben olam haba. So everybody, when the Rambam says that tchilas dino shel adam hu Torah, I think it means something completely different than Rav Hutner says. Tchilas dino shel adam eino ela al divrei Torah. What does that mean? Ultimately, I'm worried about that din in Shamayim. Ultimately, I read the Mesilas Yesharim, and I know that olam hazadoim ala proizdar, olam haba l'traklin, and the whole idea is to get there, and to get there in good faith, and to be, and that's eternity. And you know what? Like the older you get, and the less there is here, the more there is there. You know, like it's of course it's lishma, but like in business where there's long-term goals and short-term goals, how do I get there? So a business, like I say, okay, I want to become a multimillionaire. I want to become whatever I want to become. But the short-term goals is I want to make this deal. So, like in the long term, so this is the Rambam saying. I believe this is what the Rambam saying. That avada, the tchilas dinay shel adam, is al divrei Torah. So that puts us all into category 2 of the gra. I'm doing it ultimately for schar. So beseder, I'm doing it for schar. So if I'm doing it for schar, now what am I supposed to do? Just learn Torah. Just learn Torah. So I don't think there would be, as long as your overarching desire, your ultimate goal, is to be a ben olam haba, even if that's not the ultimate gimel, like I'm doing it even if I'm not being a ben olam haba. But if that's your overarching goal, whatever you do here is fine. It wouldn't be aser. Lefichach, therefore, says the Rambam, if that's as long as that's my overarching goal, it's a whole new way to learn the Rambam. I agree, but consider this. Therefore, says the Rambam, that is the shaloi lishma. The shaloi lishma is that I'm learning it because that's chilas dinay shel adam, and beseder. So learn shaloi lishma. But you don't need to say that it's an isser and you need Rabbi Yehuda Amarav to be matter the isser, because all you're saying with Rabbi Yehuda Amarav is he's saying that, look, as long as your main kavanah is a good one, like all of us here, our main kavanah is pretty good. And he said it by Torah and mitzvahs. Why the Rambam didn't say that I can explain. But in other words, like if you'd examine Torah and mitzvahs together, package, means that our whole frum existence is in question. The answer is we want to be good Jews. That's so bad. So mamela do everything shaloi lishma. It's okay. It's okay to send your kid to Mishnayos Baal Peh contests where he's gonna make get a prize. It's okay to try to get some covet out of the thing. The Bali Musar will say that, like, you should keep a piece of chocolate by your Gemara, and when you finish the Amud, take a piece. Give yourself schar. So what's it about? My whole Torah shaloi lishma? No, my whole Torah is, of course, the only reason I'm sitting here to begin with is because I want to be a ben olam haba. Now, how do I get through the next hour? The answer is the chocolate. It's not a kasha. Yeah.
Two things. It's not clear from the Lashon of the Rambam when he speaks of the first stage in the din of Rambam is how we handle what he called divrei Torah. It's not clear from his Lashon when he's talking about limud Torah. It would appear, and you seem to
I agree.
you seem to mention it at your last remark. It's more like, did you lead a Torah lifestyle?
Are you Toradic?
Right. That would appear to be what he's aiming at.
Except that he says in the next sentence, therefore you shall learn.
We have to learn how to be a ben Torah.
Okay.
We have to learn how to live. That's fair. The second point I wanted to try to clarify was these three stages of learning Torah. It would appear that the first person is someone who's doing it for ulterior motive in this world. The second person is doing it for an ulterior motive, l'choira, in the next world.
But still personal.
But it's still personal. But he wants to know how I can do Ratzon Hashem in order to be zoicha to Olam Haba. It's not so much that he's looking for payback.
Right.
He wants to do the right thing in order so that he will be judged fairly and positively.
Okay, that's still in category 2.
The third category is forget anything about payback. Just learn Torah and just live a Torah life because it's Torah.
Okay.
That's how I read it.
That's how I read it too. So good. It's a good synopsis. Yeah.
I see the theme seems to be Nefesh Hachaim. The whole overarching theme is be a good Jew. Be a good Jew on a simple level, because that does a lot more than you
Correct.
Than you know.
Correct.
But the question is, why does it? The Rambam goes on to say, according to what you're saying.
Okay, so let me explain again.
Shalom Lishma is at a good level. You'll be a good Jew the rest of your life. You have a good.
Why does he need the Baal Lishma?
The Baal Lishma is a very high level, which most
The first yesod, let's learn it together. The first yesod is that where the Rambam says, the Rambam says, Tchilas dinay shel adam eino ela al divrei Torah. So it means to say, I'm just here. I'm here in this with great respect, but just l'man haTorah. I'm arguing with Rav Hutner and with Rav Shach and the Avi Ezri, and I'm okay. So, but I think what he's saying here is Tchilas dinay shel adam eino ela al divrei Torah kavana. This is your general kavana of most Jews. Tchilas dinay shel adam al divrei Torah, and it doesn't even mean necessarily limud haTorah, as you say. Like, why am I from? So lefichach, being that that's the overarching kavana. So now in the little stuff, the kavana doesn't make any difference. You're supposed to do stuff lishma, shalai lishma, ba lishma. But that's the way I'm understanding. But if my overarching kavana is good, then I've reached Chelak Beis or Madrega Beis of the Gra and the Evan Shleima, my overarching kavana. So let me put it in different words. There is, when I do something, there's my big kavana, like the big kavana. If you stop a person and say, why do you keep Torah? There's the big kavana. There was a guy in Australia, he was like a real apocaris, a friend of mine, but he went to shul every Shabbos. So I said to him, why do you go to shul? He says, to talk. That's honest. Yeah. So there's a lot of people, I'm just saying as a There's a lot of people that talk in shul, but they don't go to shul to talk. So they talk here, they talk there. It's Sahari, it's Tov. They're doing a chesed, whatever. They're happy to see somebody, whatever it is, But if somebody's coming to talk, so it doesn't belong in the shul. Like that's not the purpose of the shul. Person talks, so that's a different story. So what I'm saying is that like what we have to work on. This is, I believe, what you're pointing out. Well, you're saying, Mamash, in a sense, that the whole Nefesh Hachaim is about just being a good Jew. And stop worrying about the Olamis. Does he disagree that there's such a thing? Of course not. He also it's pashut to say, Chas v'sholom, he says, to say that there's no such higher madregas. So I could be learning like a big Rebbe and to Amtakas Hadinim and to make the Olamis and to affect this and to affect that and then the coronavirus. You could be doing all that, and possibly Limud Torah has that ability to do. But why am I learning? I'm learning to be a good Jew. So now everything under that is mutter. Everything under that's mutter, unless it's lekanter, because if I'm doing it lekanter, if I'm doing it as a gaiva, so now what's happening is I'm uprooting my ikar kavana, which is the top kavana. So there's a new reading in the Rambam. But what do you want to say?
Just a slightly different way of saying it is instead of the Rambam, assume that the Rambam is bothered by the problem of Shana al-Manas Pras. So he sees in Rabbi Yehuda Amarav an indication that it's legitimate to be concerned with pras, but the goal is to shalom nas pras. So he combines the two maimarim and he says, see, from Yeshua Amarav, you see, you can start off to be concerned with pras
as long as your overarching kavanah is good.
That's what Rav Dessler teaches
right.
Also. Yeah.
So I don't know Rav Dessler, but I would say you say it like this in a sentence that. Even when you're learning Torah shaloi lishma, it has to be lishma. Meaning your shaloi lishma is lishma. Why am I learning Torah shaloi lishma? Because I want to be a good Jew. So that's lishma. So the shaloi lishma is on the short term, and lishma is the big term, and that's a whole new reading of the Rambam.
It's similar to the Rambam in the famous Rambam that was Gittin. But
good.
when it wrote down, every Jew wants to do it. It's there.
That's like inside and outside, but same idea. Like there's two dinim. There's There's right now I'm doing something shaloi lishma, but why are you doing it? Why are you really why are you doing it? Of course it's lishma. So I'm running a marathon for Lamana Chai. Okay, so why am I doing it? I want exercise. That's gaiva. I want to win. I want this. I want to. Okay, it's all shaloi lishma. But why are you doing it? Because Lamana Chai is giving money to tzedakah. Pashut. That's the. Otherwise, why would you like pashut? You need different impetuses along the way. But I just want to make a comment on this. I believe in my heart that that's what the Rambam is saying. He's saying a goal, and therefore that goal is matter everything. Because everything is lishma. I am learning shalei lishma b'seder. Learn shalei. In other words, I know I keep saying the same thing, but I'm saying it differently every time. But once you're learning, your whole Yiddishkeit is lishma, so now I'm entitled to do shalei lishmas along the way. It's the chiddush in the Rambam. But I want to point out, and I'm saying this, that you have a problem. There's a problem with this, because what can happen is that my ikar kavana is lishma. I want to be a ben olam haba, and therefore I'm doing all shaloi lishmas, prizes and money and kavod and all these different things. It's not almanas. It's very easy, if I may, to lose our way and forget about the ultimate purpose. Meaning, like, if everything I'm doing is lishma b'chol drachecha de'ehu, so that's what I'm doing. I'm being Isaac in the lishma kilu. But for that, the Nefesh Hachaim says it's an unusual type of a tzaddik. That's for the big tzaddikim. But if I'm doing it with this overarching background of lishma, but in the meantime, I'm working in this world, lishma, which is mutter. It's mutter, shalei lishma ba lishma. But there is a danger which we see of becoming, therefore, superficial and chitzoni, and like losing, we lose the overarching goal. We forget what we're doing. We forget where we're going, right? There's 100 examples of this. And all of life is an example for this, where you can lose the ikr for the tuffle, which I believe why there is an Indian to unlike what the Nefesh Hachaim is saying, there's an Indian in many circles to push the lishma, not to lose your way. I was just reading, just slightly related, somebody gave me a bunch of old Jewish observers. You know what that is? It's like the magazine of the Agudas Yisrael. I think it ended in 1988 or something. So it was 1979, 1980, 1981. It's a fast black and white magazine. It was the only Orthodox magazine. There was no Mishpacha, there was no Bina, there was no Amni. That was it. Just the Jewish Observer, black and white. Most fascinating about it was the ads. Like there's no remez of the internet, no email, no. There was pictures of women. It's a whole different, world, like a sort of a tzvibistic world. So that was interesting. Okay, we all got better. That's fine. But this one that I was reading, I had a bunch of them. One I was reading was exactly as Reb Schneur Cutler, the Rosh Yeshiva of Lakewood, was nifter. I don't remember what year that was. 89. Yeah. But it was exactly the year he was nifter, and this was like a memorial addition to Reb Schneur. But in there he says that Reb Schneur came to a wedding to be Masader Kedushin, and it just tells a story. And the guy sitting next to him, whoever brought him to the wedding, is sitting next to him, and it's late. It's going on late. Why is it going on late? Because the photographer is still taking pictures of the chassan and kala, and the caterer is still doing this and that. And so Reb Schneur made the comment to the person next to him. He says, is somebody here taking achrayus for the 1 hour bittul Torah for 200 people that are here? Is somebody taking achrayus for even people losing money in business that they're sitting there because the photographer wasn't organized? Like, is somebody taking achrayus for this? And then he said, and is somebody thinking about what we're doing here altogether? Like, so what if there's no pictures of the family before? That's not what we came here for. We came here to be b'samei chasan v'kala. And I have to say, it spoke to me because I'm thinking I always think to myself, I'm Masader Kedushin a lot, Baruch Hashem, for whatever reason. But it always hits me that the photographer will stand for the majority of the chuppah right in front of the chassan and kala. So nobody, including the rabbi, can even see the chassan and kala or the whole chuppah. Now everybody's here to attend the chuppah. So why is it exactly that the photographer is more important than the 150 people that came out and put on Shabbos clothes to sit here? Like, why is that okay? So go for a second, So the answer is, Shenasas Adam B'Tzalmai. The ikar is the pictures. But how could it be? How could it be? The answer, the only conclusion I come to is we all forgot what we're doing here. Mm-hmm. Is this a photo op, or is this chasana? So I say this, Dvarim, but levatola, there's a bracha levatola to say this to the photographer. But why? Like, it just seems to me, and like if Rav is saying, and wasting everybody's time, and not even letting them see the chassan and kala, and spending $100,000, which he goes on about to make this into a beautiful, like we're forgetting what we're doing. So what is he saying? What is Reb Schneier Kotler Zecher Tzadik Livracha? What's he saying? Take pictures. Nothing against the pictures. Take pictures. There should be a caterer. There should be a suda. There should be everything. Should be nice, but just do it in a way where you're not forgetting the goal of why we all came here. That's the. What I'm saying is that it's true Shaloi Lishma Ba Lishma, but you can make a religion out of the Shaloi Lishma too, and forget our path. And I think you see it. Forgive me for speaking politics, but if a political situation comes up like we're in now, Shalosh Pamim Bashana Ye'ar Ye'ra calls the Churcha.
Got to get it right.
No, right. What's the lashon of the pasuk? Ve'elach al hamakom asher yivchar. You got to go to the place of the Bechirot. No, it's all fine. Look, it's all fine, and it's a schus. I mean, that's the truth. It's a schus, and it's Baruch Hashem, like we're choosing our own destiny. That's like a fantastic thing. But it's like if people are, I'm not saying anybody's doing this, but I'm saying if people are coming together to rally for what they believe is true, and then talking total lashon hara about the other one. I mean, horrible things. Moitzi Shebra. Things who would ever even think to say such things in public about another person? Like, why is that okay? And the only reason. Which is why I stay away from the whole thing. It's just like it's hunting season, open season but by the way, it's not just like knocking this politician or that politician, and knocking anybody who has any kind of kesher with it. Anybody who, it's just very aggressive. So, but like it feels to me, I just feel I have a chiyuv to say. It feels to me like we lost the forest for the trees. It feels to me that we forgot the goal. Like the goal is beautiful, the idea is beautiful, the whole idea of election is beautiful. I think it's beautiful. It's like a mitzvah gedolah. You have gedolah and put on big day Shabbos to go vote. I mean, it's a chashuva thing. But if you forget about what the chashuva thing is and you just get into this thing, so what happens is that that's the shalei lishma ba lishma, yes, but then you lose the lishma. So what I'm saying is that the Rambam is talking about here that tchilas dinay shel adam, which in a sense means, I know this is not what it means, but in a sense it means this is the first thing on a person's mind anyway. But then, so therefore let me do shaloi lishma. But it's only, the whole shaloi lishma is only mutter on the t'nai that the shaloi lishma is lishma. It's only mutter if you have this overarching proper feeling. So it would be a good thing to review, like daily in our mind for 10 seconds, like we say, Moida'ani, to review what's the main goal of this thing, not to lose our way. And sometimes, it becomes like, Rabbi Yisrael Salanter, you're trying to get to a minyan, so you're knocking people over on the way. Did you forget what you're doing? Did you forget where you're going? But he says running and knocking people over. But if a person is driving dangerously to make it to a minyan in time, forgot your way. You forgot your way. You're losing. If you can insult somebody for the sake of Torah, you've lost your way. There's no such mitzvah. You need a heter from Gedolei Ador to do such a thing, and they don't give that heter. So I was like, Shaloi Lishma Ba Lishma, we got to be careful. The Nefesh Hachaim is talking about peace bays, like the Rambam is saying, but then we got to keep that in mind at least all the time. Otherwise, it's lakanter. Okay, thank you for listening to my.
Are you going to get back to a footnote next time?
I'm done.
Because it doesn't seem to jive.